A peaceful protest in Perry Square was shut down within minutes. We speak to those who are looking to exercise their rights.
The city begins what they say will be weeks of work following Saturday night's riot. We're taking a look at what the chief of police and the mayor have to say.
And today marks 35 years since a tornado tore through Albion, killing a dozen people.
Live in high definition from your news leader, this is Jet 24 Action News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Brian Wilk. A peaceful protest in Perry Square is shut down. Erie Police Department shutting down the protest as an act of caution. This coming after last night's violence downtown. Now, Star Bodie spoke to the organizer of the peaceful protest about her frustrations and the positivity she was looking to share. Star joins us now live in Perry Square with more. Star.
Good evening, Brian. A devastating day throughout the city of Erie, this coming after last night's destruction. Now, so far in the city tonight, it's been pretty quiet with police presence throughout the city. Now, the peaceful protest organizer I spoke to tells me that the whole point of this protest was to spread positivity. Heavy police presence lined State Street near Perry Square. Within minutes, a peaceful protest was shut down as a precaution after last night's destruction downtown.
I wanted to go protest peacefully, and I don't understand why I'm not allowed to do that. I thought that was my right. I mean, I understand that people get out of control, but, you know, I don't. So why can't I protest?
Elvis Andromeda Mary Shine, organizer of Sunday night's peaceful protest, tells us this protest was to raise awareness of what happened to George Floyd in a positive manner.
This is not to condone violence. This is not about violence. This is about, I mean, it is about police brutality, but you know, you don't solve violence with more violence.
Andromeda Mary Shine tells us on Sunday afternoon, Michael Outlaw, community liaison for the city of Erie, said the protest could occur in a peaceful manner. After 20 minutes in Perry Square, protesters were told to vacate the city or they would be arrested.
We wanted a peaceful sit-in, to have a safe space where if folks wanted to talk about any personal injustices that they had faced or their frustrations, that they had a safe place to share.
Others tell us that they weren't even given the chance to exercise their rights at what could have been a peaceful protest.
We deserve a voice. We deserve the time to speak out on what's going on. And basically, this country, the time is up. Like, we're sick of it. It's done.
Now, those peaceful protesters also saying that they will not stop. They will continue to fight for George Floyd, and that will be through a peaceful demonstration. Brian, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Star. Mayor Joe Schember, along with the police chief, are speaking about the aftermath of the riot. Chelsea Withers takes a look at what they have to say about the protest.
This is certainly not normal life in Erie. It's not something we're real excited about. However, it is happening and we need to deal with it.
12 officers reported injured, 11 businesses damaged, 7 arrests, and a video that has caught national attention. This video is from Saturday night's riot, appearing to show an Erie police officer kicking a protester as she sat on the ground. This is a part of an hours-long situation.
There were people behind the woman who were doing damage to properties in downtown Erie, but the police can't advance beyond until all the people move back, and I'm not sure why she wouldn't move. It looked like that video might have been doctored. We're trying to find out the answer to that for sure, but this is, again, an instance that we will evaluate.
Chief Dan Spizzarni also commenting on videos that are circulating, stating in part, "We are not aware of any civilian injuries. However, we invite anyone who'd like to file a complaint to do so now so that a formal investigation of the incident can take place." The chief also noting what his officers experienced when working to break up the crowds. With shields up, face shields, helmets, and riot gear on, our officers started to slowly move toward the crowd, asking them to disperse. During this time, while our officers were being hit with bricks, rocks, water bottles, and fireworks, they just took it all. The mayor explaining something his administration has worked diligently on is creating unity within the city.
I think they have another motivation, these people. It's not really to help minorities or to help people in Erie. It's to disrupt things, and we cannot let that happen. We have a great society. And as you know, I'm totally committed to transforming Erie, to making everyone accepted for their unique talents and skills that every individual here has. We're going to continue to work hard on that, and we won't stop.
The city says they will continue to watch over surveillance videos over the next several days and will provide an update on Monday. Chelsea Withers, Jet 24 Action News.
County Executive Kathy Dahlkemper speaking out following last night's protest and riot. Dahlkemper and Director of Administration Gary Lee visiting the State Street destruction following the riot. Both Lee and Dahlkemper saying they are disappointed with how the event unfolded. Dahlkemper adding in nearly the 60 years she's lived in Erie, she has never seen something like last night.
But what happened last night is not going to take us forward. So a peaceful demonstration, I completely believe in that, and I believe in people's ability to come out and talk about that.
And Dahlkemper adding racism exists in every community and she would like to see it eliminated. And the protest in Perry Square last evening obviously turning into a riot after dark. Reporter Chelsea Swift has more on what was going on downtown when those riots started.
No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace!
No justice, no peace. One of the phrases people were chanting as the peaceful protest began early Saturday evening. One woman sharing why Floyd's death brought her to the protest.
I can't get over it. It hurts me because it could be one of my sons.
The protest escalating as people took to the streets, marching from Perry Square down to the Bayfront, blocking off State Street. Another protester saying it was a personal experience that compelled him to join the march.
When I was 11, 12 years old, an Erie Police Department officer stuck his gun in my face. That stuff is regular to a black man in not only Erie, Pennsylvania, but it's regular to a black man in America.
And by nightfall, the protest turned into a riot as people congregated in Perry Square. Police began lobbing tear gas to scatter the crowds. However, the unrest continued, one resident saying why he and others stayed even after the police started using tear gas and shooting rubber bullets.
Every single person out here got a story to tell, and it's basically against the police. You know, if they would come out and be part of the community, we wouldn't be out here.
Later in the evening, rioters became disorderly, shooting fireworks and damaging storefronts along State Street. Members of the community are saying the destruction that occurred during the riot takes away from the initial message of the peaceful protest.
These people don't represent us, and by doing that, unfortunately, we've lost a message that a man's life was taken.
One man who was at the riot saying he believes things got out of hand.
I think we could have been more on the people's businesses, left their businesses alone.
Chelsea Swift, Jet 24 Action News.
And here at Jet 24, we're taking the time to salute our area high school seniors. So this is our way of saying congratulations to everyone in the class of 2020. Coming up on Jet 24 Action News, in the aftermath of last night's destruction, business owners are picking up the pieces. That's after Craig's forecast. Hey, Craig.
Brian, just downright chilly for May out there as we get ready to wrap up May and move into June. Talk about the forecast next.
From your news